Thanks for tuning in to Full Send Ministries Watch It Wednesday. This month we've been looking at the book of Hebrews, and today we're going to study Hebrews chapter 7, 8, 9, and part of chapter 10. When I read these chapters, I see that Jesus intercedes for us. Jesus is the new covenant. Jesus serves, and Jesus died once for all. And reading all of this makes me think of a hymn that I love. I'm not going to sing it for you. If you want to hear good singing, you should sit by Ben in church. The hymn says, "Before the throne of God above, I have a strong and perfect plea, a great high priest whose name is love, who ever lives and pleads for me. My name is written on his hands, my name is graven on his heart. I know that while in heaven he stands, no tongue can bid me thence depart." This verse beautifully conveys the believer's assurance of salvation and eternal security, not based on our own efforts, but completely based on the finished work of Christ and his ongoing advocacy as our loving high priest. Before the throne of God above, this is the ultimate scene, the place of judgment and authority, the very dwelling of God. Despite being such a holy and potentially intimidating place, we believers have a firm standing. We have a strong and perfect plea. As believers, our security is not based on our own merit, but on a plea, an earnest request being made on our behalf. And it's strong and it's perfect. By our great high priest, whose name is love. In the Old Testament, the priest would intercede for the people of God. In Hebrews, Jesus is presented as the ultimate high priest. And his very nature, his name is love. Jesus is God, and God is love. He is our perfect, compassionate advocate. Whoever lives and pleads for me, his pleading is continuous. Christ actively intercedes for us in heaven. My name is graven on his hands. Christ's wounds from the cross are a constant reminder of his sacrifice, the cost of redemption. We're graven on his hands. We cannot be erased. Our names are written on his heart. Think of how someone holds someone they love close to their heart. So Christ cherishes those and remembers those who are his. I know that while in heaven he stands, no tongue can bid me thence depart. This returns to the initial declaration of security. We now understand Christ's role as the ever-living, loving high priest, whose very body bears the marks and affections of those he represents. As long as Christ is in heaven interceding for us, no force can separate us from God's presence. So I went through the first verse of a hymn. What does it have to do with the book of Hebrews? Well, let's see if any of those lyrics are found in Scripture. From chapter 7, it says, "Now, there have been many priests, and death prevented them from continuing in office. But Jesus lives forever. He has a permanent priesthood. Therefore, he is able to save completely those who come to God through him, because he always lives to intercede for them." Such a high priest truly meets our needs. One who is holy, blameless, pure, set apart from sinners, exalted above heaven. Unlike the other high priest, he does not need to offer sacrifices day after day, first for himself and then for the people. He sacrificed for their sin once for all. For the law appoints high priests men in all their weakness, but the promise appoints the Son who is made perfect forever. In chapter 8, we do have such a high priest who sat down at the right hand of the throne of majesty in heaven, and who serves in the sanctuary, the true tabernacle set up by the Lord. Every high priest is appointed to offer both gifts and sacrifices, and so it was necessary for Jesus also to have something to offer. Earthly priests serve at a sanctuary that is a copy and a shadow of what is in heaven. But the ministry of Jesus is superior to theirs, as the covenant of which he is the mediator is superior to the old one. For if there had been nothing wrong with the first covenant, no place would have been sought for another. But God found fault with his people. In chapter 9, but when Christ came as high priest, the good things that are now already here, he went through the greater, more perfect tabernacle, not made by human hands. He did not enter by the blood of goats and calves, but he entered the most holy place once for all by his blood, thus obtaining eternal redemption. The blood of goats and bulls sprinkled on the ceremonially unclean sanctifies them so they're outwardly clean. How much more then will the blood of Christ, who offered himself unblemished to God, cleanse our consciousness from acts that lead to death, so that we might serve the living God? For this reason, Christ is the mediator of the new covenant, that those who are called may receive the promised eternal inheritance. Now that he has died as a ransom to set them free from sin, just as people are destined to die once, and after that to face judgment, so Christ sacrificed once to take away the sins of many, and he will appear a second time, not to bear sin, but to bring salvation to all those who are waiting on him. And chapter 10, day after day, priests stand and perform religious duties. Again and again, they offer the same sacrifice, which can never take away sins. But when Jesus, as high priest, offered one sacrifice for sins, he sat down at the right hand of God. And since that time, he waits for his enemies to be made his footstool. For by one sacrifice, he has made perfect forever those who are being made holy. Now, imagine how many references we would find if I sang the whole hymn for you. But I won't. I'll just leave you with this thought as you read Hebrews chapter 7 through 10 on your own. Jesus is the new covenant. Jesus died once for all. Jesus intercedes for us as he serves in heaven, the throne room of God.